The C&P exam is where the veteran goes to tell their story of their disability and how it affects them on a day to day basis. It's a place to go and be honest and let the story play out how it plays out. And what I mean by that is that the the person who you're going to tell your story to is not the rater. Their only job is to gather the evidence and make a recommendation. So it's not the time to go in and minimize symptoms. It's a time to go and tell this person how you feel on your worst days. You know, how much back pain you have, how much wheezing you do if you have asthma. It's best to be as straightforward as possible. I also think it's a good idea, if you can, to bring a loved one to the C&P exam with you, or someone who sees you on a day to day basis, including on your worst days, because this person would be the person who could corroborate everything that you're saying. You see, the person who's going to make a recommendation, they have a lot of the evidence before them already, whether it be your VA records, your private medical records, lay statements, other nexus letters, etc., etc. But now they want to hear from you. And what better way to hear from you than to hear from you and also this person who will be able to corroborate your story? Shifting to how I treated or approached a lot of the C&P exams that I went to. Everything that I'm telling you is exactly what I did. I went in and told them how I felt on my worst days, whether it be my asthma or any other conditions that I'm rated for. You see, because they already know that you have a lot of these diagnoses because they have all of the evidence that lay before them. They just don't know the severity. All they know is that they have a disability claim before them, and their job is to recommend how serious this disability is. I would say, and they're going to be looking at DBQs, and I would say that the DBQs is reflective of the CFR, which is the Code of Federal Regulations, which guides VA disability. So it's all coded in federal regulations. So they're looking at you to just tell your story. And my story was just straightforward. And when you go to these exams, sometimes they may be in front of a computer where they're jotting notes. A lot of times they may not be typing notes in front of the computer. They're just listening to what you have to say. Now, with that being said, they probably should be taking notes the entire time, because you can't commit everything to memory. There's stories of veterans saying things, and then the person at these third party C&P exams misquoting what the veteran says. So all of my C&P exams that I went to, and I went to quite a few. I don't know, maybe 5 or 6. I'm not quite sure. Maybe 7. They've all been straightforward, and the third party providers have all been very personable, which doesn't equal friendly. I think it's important for veterans to realize that these raters, whether it be the third party raters or the third party C&P examiners or the VAC C&P examiners, it's important to realize these people are not your friends. Having said that, they're also not your enemies. They're just there to make a decision. And the more information we give them and the more honest we are, then they can make their decision. Now, is the process perfect? No, not at all. These C&P examiners, they make mistakes, just like any other human being. And then you have the disability appeal process to deal with that. But while we're at these C&P exams, we're not worried about mistakes that may be made. Our only job is to tell our story and get our story across as best as possible, and then let the remainder of the process unfold how it unfolds. Looking back on my C&P process, I would say I've never had any issues, particularly with the third-party examiners. Now, I've always had third-party examiners. There's only one time I've had a VA examiner, and that was at the Jesse Brown VA Hospital in Chicago, Illinois, where I think I was going for PTSD, and the examiner was real curt, real straightforward, matter of fact, no nonsense. And actually, all of those traits are exactly how I am. But if my memory serves me correctly, I think there was a point during the C&P exam where it seemed as though she was almost like trying to catch me up on some of my wording or what have you. Needless to say, the result of that C&P exam was not rated. Other than that, the third-party reviewers, they were also matter of fact and no nonsense as well, but more personable. It seems like they had high regard for veterans as being people first. So you have the veteran first and the disability second. And all of those claims panned out pretty well for me. But at the C&P exam, it's all gonna come down to where is the evidence, or how much evidence is there to back up your claim or how severe you say your disability is. If you found this video helpful, give me the thumbs up and subscribe. See you in the next video. Veterans helping veterans.